It's a new day in the small commentary community slums. I'm your host, Shifter, and if you wanna help me leave this decrepit place, consider subscribing. Today, we'll be talking about a very near and dear to my heart topic. Tears will be shed, something that I wouldn't wish upon my worst enemy just happened. Today, we will not be discussing dumb Minecraft drama, people getting arrested, or dumb Twitch TV streamers. No, today we will be talking about cars and family. Ever since I was a small boy, I always dreamed of having tons of cars. My grandfather was a mechanic, all of my uncles were mechanics, my brother became a mechanic, and my dumbass lobotomite brain decided to become a worker in the games industry. I was but a late bloomer, what can I say? No one gave me the proper push. Nonetheless, gasoline pumped through the veins of the entire family. We lived our lives a quarter of a mile at a time. Still, I had the car posters all over my walls. I watched all of the Fast and Furious movies. I played all of the Need for Speeds. I bought all of the Hot Wheels I could get my hands on. When I finished my driver's license, I instantly got my hands on the shittiest BMW E36 that money could buy, just to fit in with all of the petrol heads.
And it was fine. It had no problems according to the seller. You can't have problems if you don't have an engine.
The car had a blown head, everything in it was falling apart, and I mean, suspension geometry was trashed. Through blood and perseverance, me alongside my brother rebuilt the engine. Even though it's not the best engine, it's not what's under the hood that matters, it's who's behind the wheel. The interior looked like two homeless men had a fight to the death and
the car is literally falling apart.
The brake system was inexistent. You name it. The car was the definition of a shitbox. Still is, but I love it. Every day I go outside, look at it, see if it has any new dents from people who don't know how to park. It's a ritual. I take it everywhere, even if it's just for the simple task of shopping, granny shifting, not double clutching like I should. No matter how shitty, broken or slow my car is, it's still my shitty, broken, slow-ass car, and I'd commit neck rope in Minecraft were something to happen to it. Now, imagine if you had an entire business around cool cars, most of which in pristine condition, super modified, cars that would only be dreamed of in a child's mind, an entire fleet of every car imaginable. A GTA 530 car garage, fully maxed out, and in a blink of an eye, poof, everything gone. All you see in flames, every single piece of your dream down to ashes. This is what happened to the popular group that runs the channel DriftGames. These guys from Ireland built a massive fleet of cool cars over the years, mostly Japanese import with a few European cars and supercars in the mix. Anyway, recently a video of them popped up with the title "Everything is Gone" and I clicked it thinking it was some kind of out of season April Fool's joke. Either that or maybe one of their cars burned down, the engine blew, and like that's common for YouTubers to clickbait whenever stuff like this happens. Bro, when I opened the video and saw the first few clips with all of the firefighters trying to put out the massive fire in their building, my jaw dropped. And if you don't know them or the building, you might not think anything special of it. That small building is more packed with cool cars than a supercar dealership. And it's 30-year-old cars in brand new condition. It's not your typical Toyota from the 2020s. It's 90s and early 2000s cars. It's like a small museum burning down, and you might be wondering if any of it could have been done to stop the fire earlier.
Something happened in Dean Motors' workshop. There was an explosion of some kind. We don't know. Our fire alarm went off. Keen checked it. It looked okay. And then he messaged me and said, it's on fire. She was on fire. So the left-hand side of the building was like 20-foot flames. However, we thought, because ours is on the right-hand side, that we could control the fire. And our side of the building has firewalls, fire protection, all the stuff. The building's pretty new, so it had everything. And she fought it for what, 3 hours? More?
Doctor was 6-7 hours later.
Yeah. She fought it, but eventually it went through the back of the building, caught the back of our building, and it didn't do much for a while, but then it hit the first car, and then it went boom, 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 through the whole building. We could hear the tires pop, we could hear the fuel tanks explode. Everything's gone, everything. So there's all our footage for 10 years of IDC, BDC, DriftGames and Driftmasters.
The guys at DriftGames explained that the fire alarm went out, but by the time they went to check on it, it was already too late. and the cars have gasoline inside. You must know that gasoline is highly flammable, so as soon as it hits the gasoline tank of one of the cars, it's over. It's practically a chain reaction. All you can do is wait to see the damage. And to all of the Captain Hindsights out there, I'm sure you can probably come up with a solution to rescue more than 30 cars from a garage 20 feet up in the air with only a car elevator to take them out. Oh, Shifter, why didn't they build a regular garage? Or why did they need to have so many cars inside? Couldn't have they placed them outside? You're completely missing the entire point. These guys built something really cool and unique and it burned down. Not everything needs to be 100% functional. A garage 20 feet up in the air that looks like a street on the inside is something unique, akin to a child's dream. It's not built to be practical. It's built to be flashy and unique, entertaining. And these guys are in the business of entertainment, so that's what they built. The matter of fact is that they did everything they could. This was a huge loss to the entire car community. Cars that most of us could only dream of. Built, burned to the ground with no chance of salvation. Scrap! I'd also like to address all of the hateful comments on Twitter, and honestly, I've said this time and time and again, and I'll keep repeating it. I really truly believe that Twitter is where brain cells go to die. The amount of people commenting that this is some sort of insurance scam is unbelievable. First of all, I'm sure that 99% of the people commenting insurance scam don't own modified cars, because if they did, you'd know that most insurance companies won't insure vehicle modifications. Some even flat out refuse to pay if they find out that your vehicle has been modified. And these cars are not stock. Most of them have engine modifications that cost more than the cars themselves. Car lovers, body kits, special paints, you name it. Some of the other cars are race cars, only meant to be driven on track, so no insurance on those ones either. Why? Because race cars are expensive pieces of machinery, meant to be driven hard on track. Have you seen a race in your lifetime? Which insurance company would be crazy enough to insure a race car? Which leaves us with the question, what kind of insurance scam could have they pulled off? If you didn't know this, I won't blame you. Most of it is really niche stuff, and I bet that most of my audience is not related or isn't that interested in cars, but now you know. So, no possible insurance scam could have been pulled off in the situation. Most of the cars that burned down are worth much more than the pieces and have loads more money put into them that the insurance companies won't cover. I have no idea how the guys at DriftGames managed to pull themselves and make a video on it. If I saw my shitbox burn down, I'd be a messy, sobbing, incoherent shell of a person for at least a week. These guys lost far more than that. They lost not only their passion projects, but also their business. Now, they'll have to build it from the ground up, if they manage to come up with the funds to do so. Some of the cars they lost are worth or have more money put into them than literal houses. And if you are enough of a hater, I'm sure that you'll be able to come up with a conclusion or a comment along the lines of, oh, they shouldn't have many cars together, or cars are meant to be driven from point A to point B, or some other conclusion. Just please turn off your debate, bro. Just sit this one out. It's a goddamn business. Can't you just put your ultra instinct, intuition, and hindsight aside for a second and mourn this tremendous loss? Life itself doesn't make sense. Most people spend their lives building stuff that will be eventually lost, and in the grand scheme of things, it will be meaningless. Do you think that 200 years from now, most of YouTubers will be remembered? All of this is bound to become but a mere footnote in history, only to be mentioned by a century or year. But for us, now, in the present time, gives us meaning, and seeing someone's life work being engulfed in flames is devastating. Makes us think, what if it happened to us? So I'm looking forward to seeing how the guys at DriftGames manage to handle and traverse through this terrible situation. I wish nothing but the best to them. I love their content, their builds, and the genuinely original content that they put out. These guys are no default commentary YouTuber like me. They actually build real stuff in the real world, works of art, and their projects cost real life money. So I'm keeping an open tab on them to see what their next moves are. Needless to say, please go and support them. I'm leaving links in the description. Write a nice and encouraging comment. These guys really need it at a trying time like this. But I guess that's enough yapping for today. A little bit more serious topic. Serious talk. Serious bad talk. It's been bad talk. Tomorrow I'm back with regular schedule. there are enough people on the internet for me to cover. Anyway, that was the Prime Slop for today. Thank you to everyone, especially to my watch until the end gang. So like the video if you've liked it, disliked it if you've disliked it, comment down below if you also live your life a quarter of a mile at a time. I read all of the comments, are the ones I like the most, and reply to the ones I can. So subscribe to the channel if you are new and want to consume more Prime Slop like this, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye!